Explosive Ordnance Disposal Technicians, more commonly referred to as EOD techs, is an occupation that has grown and become heavily relied upon in the war on terror. To understand the impact that these bomb technicians have made on the war, you first need to learn the training required to become an EOD tech and how that training is put into action to support the many different theaters of operations. Explosive Ordnance Disposal Technicians have been on the front lines in the war on terror for the past 10 years. However, the title EOD Technician is one that is not easily acquired. First, this begins with a very demanding 38-week school. The Naval School Explosive Ordnance Disposal is a joint service school located at Eglin Air Force Base in Fort Walton Beach, Florida. First, though, before a service member attends EOD school, he or she should have a few basic skills in order to become successful. First, the student must volunteer for the job. Then, he or she should also have reading comprehension, hands-on application skills, and a trustworthy character. A candidate must also be able to attain a security clearance. Testing during school can be very intense, not only in a classroom setting, but also in practical application skills. Students are tested in explosive theory, ordnance identification, tools and equipment, and stress management. Being able to apply the reading comprehension from a publication or instructions to a field environment is the key to success. Once a student graduates, he or she is authorized to wear the basic EOD technician badge, more commonly referred to as a crab because of its appearance. The badge is made up of a bomb, lightning bolts, a wreath, and a shield. A new EOD tech learns most of his knowledge once he checks into his unit from the mentorship from his fellow EOD techs. Although the basic skills are learned at the school, his more advanced knowledge is going to be learned once he does check into that unit. They're going to be tasked with the identification, neutralization, and disposal of all explosive hazards. And depending on the type of unit that the member goes to, the mission can be different depending on the type of unit. The Senior and Master EOD Technician badge are also obtainable through advanced training, operational experience, and years in the field. Each service has its own guidelines, though, for that. EOD techs have been heavily relied upon in counterterrorism operations. EOD techs have been involved in everything from special operations, route clearance, presidential security, and operations in Iraq and Afghanistan, of course. Job security is definitely not an issue. Iraq in 2003 shed new light on EOD techs. The IEDs that the insurgents started using were a brand new tactic, not yet seen before by U.S. forces, and it caught us off guard. The vulnerability could definitely be seen, such as the lack of armored vehicles that we had at the time, early on in the Iraq War. EOD techs answered the call to the IEDs, keeping troops safer through the neutralization of the IED and also training units in counter-IED operations. That's a big thing. People think that all we do is defeat IEDs, but actually an even larger majority of our job is training units how not to encounter the IEDs. Of course, when people think of EOD techs, they think of robots. Robots are an invaluable asset to EOD techs. They can offer you a hands-off approach, meaning that you can disarm the bomb from a distance instead of being right on top of it. Early models of these robots were very large, non-tactical, and they were more tailored towards civilian bomb threats, as you may see a police bomb squad have. However, as the war progressed, smaller, more advanced models were fielded. In 2003, as Iraq began to calm down, insurgents shifted the IED methods and tactics to Afghanistan. Another problem with Afghanistan was the rugged terrain led to more hands-on approaches, because in rough terrain, EOD techs have to move on foot. Unlike Iraq, we're moving mostly in vehicles. So on foot, we can't carry as many tools and equipment such as robots. Not having robots is obviously more dangerous due to having work right on top of the bomb. As time has gone on, more effective hands-on methods have been developed from lessons learned. Since September 11, 2001, more than 112 EOD technicians have been killed in the war on terror. These EOD techs are honored every May at the EOD Memorial held at EOD School in Destin, Florida. The names of the killed in action from the year prior are added to the wall each year. Each branch of service has its own stone wall with a brass plate that's engraved to the wall, and the brass plate includes the names of the fallen. The 112 EOD techs killed since September 11, 2001 show the importance and commitment that EOD techs have displayed on the front lines of the war. Although each year there are devastating losses, the EOD community is very close-knit and continues to grow.